Good Saturday. I'm meteorologist Melissa Terrazas here at the 13 News Now Weather Center. We are tracking the tropics. A lot going on in the Atlantic Basin. Early this morning, really the past few days, we've already had Alex, Bonnie, Colin, Danielle, Earl, Fiona, Gaston, Hermine, and Ian as of yesterday afternoon. Let's take a look at what is now post-tropical storm Fiona. Now impacting parts of eastern Canada. It is already an area of low pressure, so no longer a hurricane. Yesterday we did see that being downgraded. Again, an area of low pressure impacting parts of eastern Canada. It's going to continue to move north at about 23 miles per hour. Now this is as of the latest advisory. Again, impacting parts of Canada, bringing high winds, heavy amounts of rain to that part of the world. Now the second system that we're also watching is Tropical Storm Gaston, still impacting parts of the Azores. Definitely not as strong as what Fiona was. We do have those sustained winds of about 50 miles per hour with gusts up to 65 miles per hour. It is now moving west-southwest about 7 miles per hour. Again, eventually it is going to continue to weaken as we get into the early parts of tomorrow into early parts of next week. Now, as of yesterday afternoon, just before the 5 o'clock hour, we do and now have what is Tropical Storm Hermine. It is located just off the western coast of Africa. It is expected to be short-lived, so by as early as tomorrow afternoon into your Monday, we can expect some weakening conditions, but it is expected to bring high winds and heavy amounts of rain to parts of the Canary Islands. The third system that we're also watching is what is now Tropical Storm Ian, located in the parts of the Caribbean, just off the northern coast of South America. This system has already put in place some watches and warnings for parts of the Cayman Islands and Jamaica as it makes its way further out west and eventually takes a northerly shift. Now, as of the latest advisory, this is what the National Hurricane Center has been put out. The cone of uncertainty. It is tropical storm. So right now we do have the sustained winds of about 45 miles per hour with gusts up to 60. We do have a west-southwesterly component to this movement of the storm, moving at about 15 miles per hour. Now, as of right now, a lot of the models are agreeing it's going to continue to move west and then take a northerly shift, impact parts of the Cayman Islands, potentially as already a Category 1 hurricane, and then continue to move north, impacting parts of western Cuba as a Category 2 hurricane, entering the Gulf of Mexico, strengthening into a Category 3 hurricane, and then potentially impacting Florida as a Category 2. So a lot going on with what is Tropical Storm Ian. We're definitely keeping an eye out on those models. Here's a look at what 3 of the major models are saying as far as that projected path of travel. We have the Canadian, American, and European. All of them seem to agree as we get into your weekend and early parts of next week for your Monday and Tuesday. It's saying it's going to move west and then it's going to take a northerly shift, impact the western parts of Cuba, and then from there, that's where we get some uncertainty. Both the American and Canadian model have the system moving further out west, not yet impacting parts of Florida, while the European model, shaded in yellow, has it impacting parts of southern Florida, potentially around the Tampa area, and then from there, it brings up moisture through parts of Georgia, while the American model and both the Canadian model say, no, we are going to wait to impact Florida. We're going to look for impact to be in the Florida Panhandle, and then from there, there's even more uncertainty. One of the models, being the American, says we're going to continue to move it east, crossing parts of the Carolinas and even bringing moisture into our parts of the world, which is something that we definitely need. But of course, we'll keep you updated on the very latest here at 13 News Now.